Okay, so there's lots of stuff on Board Game Geek about this game Planet Steam, the size of the box and the quality of the components and so on, and a few images, but I just thought I'd show you a kind of video of the components in the box itself. So as you can see, the box is massive, and it's actually mostly empty space inside. It's something to do with the number of folds in the board. It's the exact same size as, well, the only coffin box one I've got at Tide of Iron, but previously I had StarCraft and Twilight Imperium, so it's the exact same as that, but with much less stuff inside essentially. So I'll just open the box and show you what's inside. Okay. Okay, so you can see here the board itself is split into 3 sections. So it's really quite large, and you need even much more space than the board takes up itself. Every player needs to have all their cards and pieces and everything around the board, so you do need a massive play area for this. We always have to play it on the floor here, because it really is enormous. So you can see here we've got the price of all the different resources here, and the number of each resource in the market, the stock, and as people sell things to the market there'll be more available, and the price, as you can see on the side here, as there's more available the price goes down. So if everyone's producing the same thing and selling it to the market, it won't be worth as much. If everyone's not producing stuff and buying things from the market, the demand and price will go up, and it'll be good for the people that are selling that. Over on this side we've got the various mine shafts, where you place your platforms, and then on top of that you place your tanks to mine the ores out of the, not the ores, the resources out of the planet. The middle line here is the hot spot, where you get water at the cost of 0 energy, so it's free water essentially. And oh, he's on the move. So yeah, this is your free water. That's just a round marker. This is the price of buying new tanks to mine stuff. So again, it's the same, as we buy more tanks it gets more and more expensive, and there's less in stock. And you can see here when there's 14 in stock, they cost $10 each, all the way down to when there's only 1 or 2 in stock, they cost $22 each. So big difference there. And down at the bottom we've got these spaces where you're supposed to set the reserves of each type of resource. You get quartz, ore, water and energy. Over here is just some little details on the board so that you don't need to remember as much how much it costs for various things. Then in the box we've got, well, that's my printout of the English rules. Then we've got the rules it came with, completely in German. Player aid sheet, completely in German. Then we've got the cards in here. These cards are really good quality. They're actually really big, but that's for a reason. So you've got some of these guys, and these are your specialists. So that one there's the fireman, and you bid for all these guys at the start of the round. They give you a special ability. Then we've got, I was lucky enough for the summary cards. So we've got the summary card of the phases, and it's in English on one side, German on the other. So I was lucky enough to get one that's in both English and German, so it's just the rules that are completely German. So that's the summary of all the phases you go through in a turn. Again, English and German, and it's a summary of all the costs of everything. Really good cards actually. And then underneath that, after phases and costs, all you've got is everyone's spaceships, where they store all their stuff. So that's a water ship, level 1, level 2, and there's level 3 and 4 as well. The higher the level, the more stuff it holds. And you go through, there's loads and loads of ships for every type of, some more summaries there, loads and loads of ships for every type of resource you can mine. Then on the other side of the box we've got these guys, and these are your steam tanks. So they'll be going around on the board once you've got platforms down, and they're all water tanks at the moment. They just produce water, but as you add more upgrades to them, they'll produce different resources depending on what upgrade you add to them. And then all the rest of the stuff in here for me. So at the top we've got all the colours of platforms for all 5 players. It's a 2 to 5 player game. Then we've got all the money. Money isn't actually that great quality, it kind of bends and wrinkles really easy. A few of my $1 ones came all messed up. Here we've got the energy coupler, When you buy the game you have to glue this together yourself, but it only takes a second. And this is placed by the fireman. He places the coupler along here on any one of these, and when he places that, all the tanks in that column gain bonus resources. Okay. Then we've got a dice. The only tiny bit of luck in this game is when you're trying to place your own platform. You roll the dice, 1, 2 or 3, you miss and you have to put it somewhere else. 4, 5 or 6 you've got it, and then just some various markers for, you know, mark what round you're on and so on. All the other markers that come with it are for the advanced game, which I haven't tried yet because I've only played 2 or 3 games of this, just got it last week. And then we've got the grey neutral platforms, which are placed on the board along with the players' platforms, and only with certain privileges you can use the neutral ones to place your stuff. So that's basically all the players' stuff and the money. And then on the other side we've got the resources and upgrades. So these are really good quality. So you can see here, this is an upgrade to upgrade your tank to quartz. This is to upgrade your tank to produce ore, and this is to upgrade your tank to produce energy, and a tank with no upgrades produces water. So here, this is another upgrade you can have, and it's a compressor dome. So it just goes on here, and now that tank produces 1 extra resource for the same energy cost. So if I also had that upgrade there like that, that tank would produce 2 quartz, and without the dome it would produce 1 quartz, and without that it would produce water. So components are quite simple, but it looks nice when it's all laid out on the board. And then over here we've got the actual resources. So energy is white sticks. There's a 1, and there's a 5, and they're just wooden blocks. The ore are quite interesting. They're all irregular shaped blocks, which is quite a strange idea. So we've got, you know, there's a block, there's a little kind of hexagonal column, there's a little misshapen block, we've got little triangles in there as well, and then you've got the big ones, get it out, and there again they represent 5, so that's a big block, got a big triangle one, that's 5 resources. Then the coolest ones are the quartz, so the single quartz, little crystals, and the 5 quartz, the coolest thing in the game, are these massive kind of rocks, and they're again all different shapes. And then water, which looks like ice in this game, is the little ones, and the big ones right there. So you can see here, the board itself is massive, and all around the board for each player they'll need to have all their ships with all their resources sitting on it, they'll need to have all their specialist cards, all their money sitting out, so this game takes up a massive amount of room. It's also not cheap. Luckily, because I live in the EU, this game cost me £60, and when on that site, when you spend over 50, it's free post and packing, so I got this whole thing for £60, but in America, according to what I can see in the Board Game Geek forums, people usually have to pay around $110 to $130 because they have to pay shipping from Germany. And as I say, the box is massive and quite heavy, so that's probably why the shipping's so much. But if you can get hold of it, or you can get hold of it cheap, or you are willing to pay the price, it's certainly worth it. As well as the components and the board and everything being really nice, it's actually a fantastic game.